Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, I wanted to talk about wasted money. I don't like to waste money. I do not like to turn a bottle into a drain pour. And every once in a while, you buy into the hype of a bottle, or you really like a distributor, so you or distiller, so you go out and buy their new release, and you are just not satisfied, man. And you wind up pouring that bottle out, and then you have some of those bottles that you just kind of, on a hunch, you just get it, and it turns out to be great. So stick around, because I've got those bottles coming up. So right now, I'm going to tell you this. The Four Roses picks, the picks are great, but the new single barrels, I wanted to like those so much, but I got these two. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I mean, I got these two home, and I bought them in dry January, so it took a little while to crack. These, I think these were bottles from, I buy so many bottles. I think these were bottles from dry January. Anyway, I buy so many bottles that sometimes I forget. But once I finally did crack these things, I was like, okay, well, maybe they could open up a little bit. Then, I waited, and then they didn't open it up. And then I said, well, okay, I'll give them a little more time, and then I'll go back to them, and you can see where they're at. They come off to bland to me. Thanks for checking out the channel. Now I would love for you guys to go over to bourbondropstore.com, where you can get this amazing heavyweight hoodie, as well as the black Bourbon Drop tee. Don't forget about the blog. I've got recommendations for all whiskey drinkers from 80 proof all the way up to 130 plus. So you've got beginner, intermediate, and experienced bourbon drinkers. Don't forget about the bourbon news as well, because you can catch some of the latest bottles and what their mash bills are, their prices are, and what their notes are supposed to be according to the manufacturer. Now, I've got my different notes. You guys also keep an eye on the channel, because bottles that you see up here will be coming soon. Check out bourbondropstore.com, link below. Now, you guys, please let me know and put the bottles in the comments that you feel the same way about. But these, I just felt like Proof does these bottles justice. Like, I have some of the single barrel picks, and they are the same recipe, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why I was so hyped to get these bottles right here. Bringing them down to 100 proof just did not help, man. They were, I'm not gonna say bad, but like, and even for this price, I was like, these are gonna be some bottles that I could buy, always have on the shelf. They are 40 something bucks, depending on where you go. 100 proof, check. Proof points, check. Oh my gosh, gotta have those. But they just missed the mark, man. They were bland, they were minty. One of them was a little spicy, not like heat wise, not with the proof, but they just came off as being like less than even mediocre to me. And I saw reviews online of these before and after I bought these, and everybody was like, oh yeah, that's a good bottle. It's fine. It's nothing wrong with it. I just found these bottles to be extremely underwhelming. All right, let's get to the next ones, because I felt like I went into a ramble on those bottles. All right, so this one I might be unpopular for too, and I am a fan of Hard Truth. I am a fan. I will say this. I went back to this the other night. It has opened up. I got this bottle later in the year 2024. I think around, it might have been October, November sometime. I think this might have been one of those Florida trip bottles, but it's opened up. It's got a little bit of caramel on it. It still has this grainy, youthful note like underneath of everything. So now when I went into it the other night, it was sweeter. It had, like I said, it had that caramel note up front, and it had a very nice mouthfeel. But then on the second sip, it just kind of fizzled out, and then that grainy note that was showing up slightly on the first sip just showed up even more on the second sip. There's a grainy, youthful note. I know it's bottled in bond, it's 4 years old. You can get some phenomenal products that are under 4 years old. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Blue Note. Shout out to Brian from Bourbon School. He is not. Those bottles say 3 years on them, but this is a bottled in bond product. So, you know, like I said, I'm a fan of Hard Truth. I was expecting this bottle to be great, but it just didn't turn out to be the case. All right, let's get to the next bottle on the list. So I am talking of Blue Note, might as well keep with the theme. I am a huge fan of Blue Note, a huge fan of Blue Note, the Blue Note Juke Joint and the Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut Unfiltered. A fan. I did have one bottle recently that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but it was still drinkable. But this one right here just has this almost Dickel sunflower seed nuttiness to it that I just don't like. And I'm not saying it's Dickel because it doesn't have any of those Flintstone vitamin notes or anything. It's actually a little on the sweet, kind of fruity side. Dickel is kind of sweet and fruity, but it's a little on the sweet and fruity side, but it's got this sunflower seed note. It's got this grainy note that I do not like. It doesn't say, you know, what the age is on it, so it has to be at least 4 years old if it doesn't have an age statement, you know, according to the rules by the United States government, the TTB. But it doesn't do it for me, man. It lacks in flavor, and I thought this was going to be another one that I like. I mean, this one right here comes in at 100 proof. I'm a fan of Blue Note, so you know the distiller I'm head over heels for when it comes to the, like I said, the uncut, unfiltered, and just the regular Blue Note Juke Joint. But this one right here just didn't do it, man. All right, let's get into the next bottle. So this is a local distillery, and I hate crapping on local distilleries. I think the problem is they're new. A lot of newer distilleries do not know how to either blend that malty note out of a product, or maybe it's just what they're going for. But most of the craft distillers, and I think when a lot of people say it tastes crafty, I think they're referring to that like heavy, grapey, jammy, jelly note that you can get in some of these products, and a lot of that comes from that malt that they use, and I think a lot of it comes from some of the rye too. And I don't think either they're good at blending that malty note out of it, or either, like I said, that's what they're going for. But this one right here, and if you guys saw this in another video, you know I'm a huge fan of Eagle Rare. Look behind me, and I saw an eagle on the bottle, or a bird, but it looks like an eagle to me, a bald eagle. And I was like, oh, local distillery, gotta give it a chance. It was at a decent price. This thing comes in at 90 proof. I was like, okay, gotta give a local distillery a chance. And that malty note was in there. And it came across the palate really light. It was kind of thin. It just, you know, I wasn't expecting a lot from a 90 proof product, but I did want to give these guys a chance. I didn't want to get it on the channel and, you know, dog it. Like I said, off camera, I was like, okay, this is really not to my flavor profile. But like I said, it's not doing it for me, man. It's not doing it. It's got this heavy, malty, crafty note that I just do not like. All right, so another one, and I had to buy this one because it was a birthday bottle. I normally don't buy the black labels. Sometimes these black labels can be good. I normally don't buy the black labels. The first black label Jack single barrel that I had, that thing was all fingernail polish remover, all acetone, turned me off altogether from the black labels. But you know, I did sample one that I thought was pretty decent, and then I was like, I saw that this one was a birthday bottle, and I was like, gotta get it, and I'm gonna crack it. It is so char heavy. It's very, very vanilla forward. It's got a really nice vanilla note, but it does remind you of, and shout out to Bobby, Bad X Bobby, one of my Whiskey 6 counterparts. It is very reminiscent of Old Number 7. It is very reminiscent of Old Number 7. I am not a big fan of Old Number 7. This one right here, I was like, vanilla notes, then I was like, no. And then char. And then it was like, can't do it. I was like, I will will sip on this thing slowly. Like I said, I don't like to turn things into a drain pour, or if I'm in the mood to mix something, which you guys know I'm not a big cocktail guy anyway, I will throw it in there, and I will probably mix something with it on my birthday, just to have a birthday pour of a birthday bottle. All right, now these are bottles that kind of shocked me. You know, I wasn't expecting them to be like really good. Like, I was kind of like on the fence with some of these bottles, but they kind of shocked me. One of them I am a huge fan of. It wasn't as big as a surprise as I thought it was going to be, but the fact of the price, it kind of made me want to stay away from it. But anyway, so getting into this is a BK Miller pick. Shout out to BK Millers, man. You guys know that 1856 is not a favorite of mine. I do like the 100 proof rye, but the 1856, it's got this weird note in it that I just can't get with. And this single barrel, after having a sample at the store, BK Miller does do samples, so shout out to BK Miller. If you guys are in that area, check them out. I was blown away. I said, I've got to get that bottle, man. I had to get this bottle. It is very reminiscent of an old Forester Blue Label. To me, it is very good. I would put it in that same flavor profile. And they had it on sale, so of course I had to pick it up. Now, you guys all know Uncle Nearest is not the cheapest thing on the shelf. So if you can find these on shelves, if you can find these on sale, I say pick it up. I say pick it up because I think it is that good. This one still was around 70 plus bucks. I think it was it was in my Weller BK Miller drop video. If you haven't seen it, go check that one out, man. I picked it up there at the same time. This thing was around, like I said, around 73 bucks or something like that, 74 bucks. So this thing was amazing. All right, let's get to the next one. So this one kind of shocked me, and I do have an S&W pick of it, but this is an ABC pick of it. This is the Bourbon small batch, but this is the single barrel. All right, so this is the ABC pick. Let me see if I can, if it has any information on it. All right, so this is the Sazerac ABC pick, hand selected for ABC. This is barrel number 7720. So if you have this one, let me know, because someone just recently, like just before I started filming this video, reached out to me in the comments about that Jack bottle that I talked about in my last video, and they said that thing is phenomenal. So if you have the barrel number 7720, let me know what you think about this thing. But this thing is so fruity, so good, such an easy sipper. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually thought about getting another one. It's that good. It's really that good. If you are a fan of Bourbon, I say check this thing out. And shout out to Kevin at S&W, man, because I was at his store today and we sampled some of his 139.7 proof cast strength Bourbon. This was batch 4. He won it in the lottery, went to the distillery and picked it up. That thing was amazing. It reminded me of a well-rounded but better 10-year-old Stag Junior. That's how good it was. It was just like, I don't know. I mean, we had this old Forester pick, and then from his old Forester pick, we went to that one, and then the Penelope 17. And man, that thing is very, very good. All right, anyway, last bottle on the list. Now, I am a fan of this distillery right here. I talk about the silver badge. This is the black and gold badge. This is Horse Soldier. Right now, they are contract distilling. They are in the works of getting their distillery up and running and getting their own juice. But as of right now, they're contract distilling with their own yeast strain and some other things. And this bottle right here, man, wow, got it backwards. This bottle right here, it's great. It's great. I took it to a bottle share, and you had things there like GTS, WLW, Thomas H. Handy. Shout out to Tommy. It was his bottle share. Shout out to Dennis. Dennis had the Coy Hill. Matter of fact, this right here is the Coy Hill. And that thing is 126 something proof. This one comes in at 134.2 proof. It was still light. It was still light. Like Tommy's brother-in-law, he was like, man, that is a good bottle. And his wife liked it too. This right here shocked the heck out of me. Like I said, I'm a fan of this distillery. I almost I wanted it. I wanted it. The price at 120 bucks, man, it can be a little off-putting. Do I want another one? Yes. I know when I reviewed it, I said that you can get the same experience from like a Knob Creek single barrel, and I was talking about some of those flavor notes. But it is a great bottle, man. I just don't want to spend that 120 on it again. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out. Let's get into a drop. Till next time.